Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. Oh, man, I tell you what, it never fails. As soon as when I'm going live, that's when my cat decides to act crazy. I mean, he's just a kitten, y'all. I just got him not long ago, but I'm telling you, he's okay. He's chasing, those little cat toys, it's like a plastic spring. Well, he's chasing one of those all over the place, but he's up and down off the furniture and across the room, and it's going to drive me nuts. So, yeah, I love him, but God. And another thing, get all my gripes out, y'all. Make sure my mic's on. Yes, I went a little heavy handed with the eyeliner tonight. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know. I never put eyeliner on the bottom of my eyes, but I was just like in there playing and actually doing my makeup on my bed where it's half dark in there instead of in the bathroom with all the great lighting and everything. So, yeah. So there's that. And I tried to fix it before I went on, but it's that mess or that eyeliner that they say will last like 5 days. So my little rubby was not doing it. It wasn't going anywhere. And then I sit down here and I realize that this shirt that I thought was adorable looks like pajamas. So I actually jerked it back off over my head and looked, and it's not pajamas. I got it at Old Navy, and it's not pajamas, but it has a jammies look to it. I'm falling apart. I'm falling apart. The cat, or my eyeliner, my shirt, y'all. I'm a hot mess. I am a hot mess. I've still got the flu, and now my daughter and son-in-law and their 4 children that still live at home have the flu. And I have not seen them except for one little tiny bit after we got home from Branson. So I don't know. I don't want to. I hope I didn't give it to him. My dad called to check on me, and I said, "Are you feeling okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I feel great." And I'm like, "Well, good on you. Be careful because you're probably next." So, all right, I'm going to shut up. Well, I'm not going to shut up, but I'm going to shut up about nonsense. Let's put it that way. So, welcome. How is everybody doing? It is always good to be here. I see several people are coming in. I am always glad to be here with y'all. It is the highlight of my day, at least till Mark gets home with that barbecue that he's bringing. I I was like, okay, I cooked one night this week, and Can you bring home something? He knows. He knows that Thursday nights, he just ought to just bring something home. I got used to him doing it on Thursday night for some reason. And so now it's just like, it should just be a given. So, and he was like, "Well, you want cheese enchiladas?" And I said, "No, I want to go get those this weekend where I can eat them hot." So, anyway, I hope y'all are doing great. For those of you that are new here, this is But First Coffee with Susie Oberholtz. Yes, Susie Oberholtz is me, and yes, I have the flu. Probably another reason where the makeup is a little wonky, to say the least. If this is your first time, I promise I usually have it a little more together than I have it right now. There's just a lot going on, and on top of being sick. So, you know, if tonight's not your cup of tea, please come back tomorrow night or the next night or some other night, whenever. Hopefully that one will be. And if you are here often or ever, welcome to you too. You are, of course, always welcome. We are always thrilled to have you. I love looking over there and seeing you and seeing all of you and seeing my mods and my channel members and lurkers and anybody. I don't care. You don't have to be a mod or a channel member. I just like seeing you. So if you are here, welcome. So tonight I am going to talk about something that's a little bit, I don't know, odd. Not odd so much, I don't know, different. And well, I'm going to kind of talk about some drama, but I'm not going to talk about some drama at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to talk all the way around it without actually getting into the bushes with it. So, but what I want to say is I absolutely hate it when creators, and I get it from all kinds of channels, and they don't mean bad, right? But they'll say something and then they'll say, if you know, you know. Well, then that automatically makes me feel like, well, shit, I don't know. I don't know. So am I not worthy? Am I not one of the cool kids? So I'm not telling you that, but I am saying if in some situations where I'm talking around some shit that's going on, if you don't know what I'm talking about, bless your heart. Feel lucky. Because honestly, a lot of it, I don't know what's going on either. I just know there's some tension. And so just think of it as like it could mean anything. Okay? This show's not going to be about specific drama. This is going to be about handling drama. Like I said in the thumbnail, when it just feels too much, okay? Because sometimes it just feels too much. And I didn't mean like too much. I meant it feels too much. We feel it too much, you know? And so that's what this is about. So I'm not really talking about in codes or anything like that. Yes, there's some specific drama going on right now, but I could do this show in 6 weeks and it'd be a whole other set of drama. So, depends on when you're watching it, what I might be talking about. So, anyway, I'm just letting you know that you're all cool kids. Okay. We are all cool kids here. There's no, outsiders or losers or not cool. We're all cool, damn it. We're all cool. So, anyway, there is one rule here. That is, I have a zero tolerance policy on trolls. I just do. And that's trolls that just happen to be scrolling on by and see us and decide to act stupid. But it can also be somebody that knows exactly what they're doing and saying. So here's the deal. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, who your granddad was. I don't care. If you come in here acting like an asshole, you're going to get booted. That's the only thing that I tell my mods is if people are acting like a dick or a pee-pee stick, as I usually call it, boot them. And I don't care who it is. Honestly, not like it's going to happen, but if Jesus came in here and was acting like an asshole, please don't strike me dead. I'd boot him. He ain't going to do it. hopefully, if he comes in here and he's mad at me, I might boot myself, y'all. But that's the whole deal. I don't care who you are. I don't care. If you act like a jerk, you're out. So, anyway, I'm going to check in with my chat for just a second. I do try to keep that short, and I just like to kind of know who's here, and that way I can kind of see who pops in later. If I don't mention your name or something, it's not that I don't, appreciate you being here. It may just be that I honestly don't see you. I am still having some trouble with my eyes. I've had 2 eye surgeries, and I have another one coming up because this eye is still not doing right. The other eye, 100%. This eye, not so much. So it's about 50% better. So anyway, I'm going to check with the chat. Julia, thank you so much for being here. And thank you, sweetheart, for being a mod. I am thrilled every time I look in here and see you. And if you have not already, please do go over and subscribe to Julia O'Connell's channel. Julia, if you will go after the live on the replay, and just all you got to do is just make a comment. You can just say, "Hey, go check out my channel," or whatever you want. And if they click on you on that comment, it will take them directly to your channel, and they can sub and watch some of your videos. Julia, her videos are short and sort of sweet. Let's just say Julia, she's opinionated, but she backs up her what she has to say, and I love her for it. We don't agree 100% on some things, but that don't matter. Don't matter. So, but you never wonder where you're coming, where she's coming from. She tell you what she thinks about things. Marilee, so good to see you too. Marilee, I love you. We should wear our hoodie things, our little snuggle hoodies at the same time. I wouldn't be able to see you, but I would know. I would know that you were wearing it. We could just if it gets really cold here, because I know it's probably always cold, or not always, but in the winter, it's cold where you're at. But if we get some more cold weather here, I want to do that. Get back in my snuggle hoodie. So Heat is here. I did see that he may be having to step out for a minute, and maybe he can get back before we get finished. And that is always good and fine. He's hilarious and sweet. He also has a channel. You should also go check that one out. Absolutely. He talks about a lot of stuff. He talks about his dog. He talks about hot sauces and stuff. He has I can't think of the word for it, a flight simulator. And I mean, the dude's interesting, and he's sharp. He's got a mind. I enjoy having him here with us all the time. Darcy's, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Always glad to see you. Always, always, always. Yeah. Whoops. Oh my word, that just went crazy. Hey, I saw Conversations with Christy is here. Y'all. Christy, you need to put the link to your Substack in the comments afterwards, and get you some people, right? We're going to have Christy on again in a few days, and we're going to talk about all of her new plans for what she's doing, and I'm excited for her. So we're going to have her too. Oh, thanks, Marilee. Pretty and pink. Rock God, hi, how are you? I don't recognize your name, but hey, you are welcome. Always welcome, as long as you don't be a pee-pee stick. And if you don't know what that means, it just translates to dick. That's what it translates to. Yes, Julia, you're right. Cats will do anything to get your attention. What he likes to do the most is he loves to play with mice. And we live out in the country, y'all. So anytime the wind changes, we get mice in the house. And we have a fairly new house. It's like 8 years old. It's not old, but mice can get in anywhere. And we have a doggy door. I swear, I think the dogs open the doggy door and invite them in. I really do. So, but anyway, so he'll find him a mouse friend, and he plays with the damn thing till I think he scares it to death, or wears it out, and it just dies. Well, then whenever it quits moving, he brings it and he drops it in my lap. Usually when I'm trying to eat dinner or go to sleep. or something, you know. Yeah, that's always what he does. He's something else. So Perla, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't see the rest of that. My eyes. Natarin, is that it? I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm so sorry. Welcome, and I hope that you come back and see us. Tonight's kind of odd, right? I'm feeling a little off. I've still got the flu, and it's just a whole thing. But please do come back. We talk about cults, and we talk about a lot of like recovery stuff and high control groups or people, and we're just a peer support. We are absolutely peer support. We are here to support anybody that needs it. Really. Thank you, Marilee. Doesn't look like pajamas to you. It's cute. I guarantee you, Mark will come in and say, "Are you wearing your pajamas?" 'Cause he does that all the time. It's okay to be comfortable. Julia thinks I'm in my pajamas. I swear I'm not. Well, I shouldn't say that because I am in my pajama pants. But this top's not pajamas. Maybe it is now, right? Maybe I will make it pajamas. Hey, Jersey, good to see you. She's in the back. She's probably like, get to the show. Ah, Linda Scott, good to see you. Yes, I got my here's Christy says I got my Substack set up, the Sacred Gypsy Travelers. Oh, I'm so excited. No content yet, but it's coming soon. I thought about I was reading all up on Substack and everything, and it was saying that it's a really good thing to do kind of in addition to even with YouTube. And I thought, I might have to try that because I'm a writer. I'm way better at writing than I am with talking. And especially because I don't have to pronounce words when I'm writing. I can just write them. I know how to write them. I just can't ever say them. I get twisted with my accent. So I'm so excited for you, though, Christy. I really am. And I want to have you on and talk about it all. So, oh, Ken says, "Good day, mate. Are you from Australia or somewhere in that vicinity?" My doctor left me to go down that way for 3 years. Yeah. What's the topic? Okay. Tonight we are. I am going to get on topic. We're going to talk about stress. That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah. Let me just finish right here. Mr. Todd is here. Hello. Happy Thursday to you too. Let's see here. Gary Mackey is here. Hello. Christmas decorations are down. Now I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. The Christmas tree is laying in the floor over here beside me. I told Mark, I said, I don't know. It exploded. I got all the stuff off of it and everything, took it apart. It's in 3 pieces. And the bag that I normally put my tree in is not big enough. I forgot that I had went to a 7.5 foot tree from a 5.5 foot tree. And I had an extra bag. I've still got one 5.5 foot tree in one bag. Yeah, but I did get them down, Gary. So you were wrong. It did not make it till March. They're not all down. A lot of my there's still stuff on the other side of the room, but it's happening. If I didn't have the flu, it would all be gone. So, okay, y'all, I'm going to get started. So, I want to kind of start today a little different, obviously, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm really going to tell you the truth. I have just been so stressed over stuff. Just, I don't know. We went on vacation and I felt completely relaxed. And then I came home and I felt like a ton of bricks hit me in the face. And so I really just, in fact, I canceled 2 lives this week and I really didn't even want to do this one. And I had even seriously considered deleting my channel. Now, I don't say that as some kind of a threat where y'all will say, no, don't delete your channel. That's not what I'm saying it for. I say it because I want you to know that we all feel stressed. And sometimes things just feel too much. And today, this week, has been one of those times whenever everything just feels too much, and I just was just ready to be like, "Screw it," right? And, I mean, I wasn't wanting to well, I wasn't wanting to delete my channel, but I wasn't considering it because I didn't have anything left to say. Because 'cause y'all know I have a lot to say about a lot of things, but everything around me felt loud. It felt like that everything was heightened and loud, and I don't know. I don't know. It's been a rough week, let's just put it that way. Y'all, we are living in a time when stress, it isn't coming from one direction, not even two directions. It's coming from every direction, and it's coming all at once. It's not like that we can get over one thing that has stressed us out and then, oh, well, here comes something else. No, it's like this, right? It's just one thing after another until sometimes it just is like I have to shut the noise out. I am gonna mention stuff, but I'm not gonna, like, talk about any of these things. So, number 1, politically, this country is divided right down the middle, not, you know, literally, but half the people are, Trump supporters, half the people aren't, and it's just I don't know. Y'all, it has families and friends groups and everything just strained and divided to a point like I've never seen in my 60 almost 59 and a half literally. Yeah, pretty much years. I've never seen it like this before. And then on top of that, we just came through the holidays where a lot of people were sitting at tables with people that, they've known their whole lives. Maybe they grew up with them. They grew up in the same families with the same belief systems and, morals and even politics, everything, right? And suddenly they feel like that they're from another planet, like that we're sitting there, but we see things in the very same world in completely different ways. And then sadly, there's a lot of us that weren't sitting at tables with those family members at all. I've said before that, I've got 2 brothers that don't even talk to me because of politics and that hurts and it never it never hurts so much as it does at the holidays. It makes it 100 times worse. And so I know that if that's happening with me, it's happening with some of you all too. And so we get kinda, past that and it's like we can go, "Okay, fine, we made it through the holidays." So, but then boom, there's all this global stress. And for instance, like the situation in Venezuela. And we're even trying to understand what's true, what's false, what's right, what's wrong, all of that. It really just feels overwhelming. And it just I keep thinking like and no matter where you are on the belief about the whole thing, my whole thing was like that if it's okay for us to go in and take a president and first lady out of this country, is that okay for somebody to come over here and do that too? And that's bipartisan, y'all. I don't think that that has anything to do with who's in position now. Is that ever okay with you if somebody comes in and does that? So that adds a lot of stress. And then, like, what's that going to do, right? Like, we've done this. Now, what's going to be the consequences of it? And so, we all have this stress. And I'm not talking about these things to stress you out more. I'm talking about them because we're already feeling them. Just because we don't say it doesn't mean we're not stressed out by it. We are. I know everybody I know is on some level. And on top of everything, we've all seen horrible things happen in our own home, not literal home, but in our own country or our own state or whatever, and including the shooting of an innocent woman in Minnesota by ICE. And I'm not here to argue how anybody feels about ICE, or any of that. But the loss of life like that, it has to shake us. We can't get so used to it that we don't feel something deep when something like that happens, because that could really have been any of us. Regardless of what the situation was, we weren't there. Unless you were there, unless you were her, you don't know what her intent was. We can all think we do, but we don't. And we don't know what was in the minds of these ICE people either. So we just have to look at it like what it is, and that it was a sad, senseless loss of life. The woman has a child that is now without a mom. And that shakes people, or it should. Coming even closer to home, y'all. If you are, viewers of the anti-Scientology space, there's been a lot of turmoil there for a while. I swear, every time that I think, whew, everything feels like it's settling down. Everybody seems like they're kind of on the same page. I mean, maybe we don't like the same people, maybe we don't dislike the same people, but we all remember who we're supposed to be fighting, or at least the majority of us do. And every time I think that, there suddenly becomes this creator on creator attacks and drama and insults and all this pressure to pick sides. And today, even in this space, like my mod and myself space, things got tense, and people, were very upset, including myself. And that's kind of what brought this whole live on, was that because all I could think of was, we say this is a safe place to land. This is a safe place to talk about hard subjects. But are we? Are we really, if we can't even talk about a subject that we agree on? And I think that all the mods and I all kind of came to the same realization that, yeah, we can. That it is okay to disagree. It is even okay to have your feelings hurt for a minute. What makes it a safe place is that we get over it. We get over that. And we, like John says, we have a group hug, we come back together. But it really did, it kind of rocked me a little bit that we couldn't easily discuss a stressful topic where we all were actually on the same side without it ending in hurt feelings. Now, I'm glad that, it seems to have, everybody's great again. We're all great because we actually do love each other. But what made me think of it was that not everybody out there has that safety net of having that group of friends that you can disagree, get your feelings hurt, and then wash it all away and be okay again. And so that is kind of what I'm talking about tonight. So all that to just get to the what I'm going to talk about. Oh, I know. Hey, Indigo, good to see you. So, Yeah, I figured if all this trauma and stress that's coming from, all over the place, because it's not just what was going on in the SPTV space, it's everything, right? We were all reacting to everything because it just feels too much, right? It just feels too much. And I knew that if it was affecting us, it had to be affecting you too. So instead of just slapping on a smile, which I know I'm smiling, but instead of just slapping on a smile and sweeping it under the rug and pretending like everything is fine, I want to talk about stress. I want to talk about it and what it's doing to us, all of us, kind of like the royal we. I want to talk about how it shows up and how we can protect each other, not just ourselves, but each other. But how we can do that without silencing ourselves or each other. So I hope that y'all will stick with us. It's really not going to be that long. I've got the majority of it's already been said, but I hope you stick around. Get yourself a beverage, pop in your earbuds if you need to still work or fix dinner or whatever, because this live is important. And I really hope that a lot of people will come in on the replay and weed past all of my nonsense in the beginning, the first 30 minutes, Lord, and get to the meat of this live. And if it does help you in some way, share it. Like, subscribe, of course. That helps get us out to more people. But also share the video. You can share it on your Facebook, you can share it in your friends groups, you can share it wherever you want, and I'm absolutely fine with that. I encourage it. So, anyway, okay, so I literally popped into Google and said, "Why is everyone on edge right now?" And I got a lot of answers. I popped it into Chat GPT, got even more answers and more up to date answers, to be honest. But one thing that I really believe is that there are as many reasons for us to be on edge as there are people, because we all have things in our lives that set us on edge that maybe don't set everybody on edge. And so I know I'm not going to cover all of them, but I did want to hit a few of the noteworthy ones. And they're things like political polarization. I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget. Global instability, financial issues, family conflict, online hostility, and constant information overload. And something that several professionals, because I am not a professional, y'all. I would never profess to be a professional, but I am a professional at digging and trying to find what the professionals do say. And they all say that stress is cumulative, it's not isolated. People aren't reacting just to one thing. Like, it's not one thing that sets them off and they have a visceral reaction. They're reacting to a lot of things, to everything. And sometimes we react badly. If y'all have been around here long enough, you know that several months ago I reacted awful. I mean, horribly, to a situation that was going on. I did a whole damn video where I was just crying and pissed at the world. It cost me subs, it cost me mods, it cost me friendships. But I leave it up because I want you and I want me to always know that I can fuck up just as royally as anyone can. And was I 100% wrong in what I said? No. But I wasn't 100% right either. And I handled it poorly. And I know that. but I'm human and I'm Southern. And we can sometimes be a little prone to the histrionics of it, woe is me, clutch my pearls, the whole bit. But anyway, what I want us to understand is that our nervous systems are not built for 24-hour stress input. We're not built that way. And that's something that everything that I looked up today kept saying over and over, was that we are not built for that. So, what does it look like when the stress boils over and we act out? Now, it can be one of these, it can be all of these, and it can be many more things. It can be short tempers, black and white thinking, over interpretation of tone, and even worse, over interpretation of no tone, because so much of what we are consuming in text and emails and messenger and all of that. We're not even really hearing tones, we're assuming tones. And you know what they say about assuming. So it also can make you feel attacked when no attack was intended. It can cause people to dogpile onto groups that they, with groups that they agree with, onto people that they disagree with. And it can cause defensiveness to where, you just feel like you got to defend everything that you say or do or feel or whatever. I'm really bad about that one. I really am. There's also saying or doing things that we regret later. I've also done that. There's a video I was talking about that, yeah, maybe I should take it down, but every time that I get a little comfortable with myself, I go back and I look at it and I think, yeah, you are just as big a hot mess as anybody out there. And it makes me not judge other people's hot messes. It really does. It makes me kind of just like go, okay, I get it. So, I do want to say something though. I want to say that explaining our stress reactions, that's not excusing them. It's we got to understand the mechanisms behind how we react to things so that we can not just interpret what we're doing and saying, but interrupt it sometimes. We can know that this is why I'm acting this way and be like, okay, this is why I'm acting this way. I better back it up a minute, right? I better take a seat. I better like mute. Mute is not a bad thing. We can mute for a while. We had a couple of us that did that today. We were just like, okay, I'm going to mute myself for just a little bit and I will be back. And sometimes that is healthy. I'll tell my husband sometimes I'll be like, well, the reason that I did this was because of this. And I honestly am not asking for him to be like, okay, it's fine that you did that. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm not trying to get excused for bad behavior. What I'm trying to get is for him to understand that I'm not a crazy bitch from hell. I reacted badly, but I reacted because of this or that. And most of the time, it's not something that he's done that's caused me to do that. It's usually some fool did some stupid thing, or I watched a movie that just, broke my heart. And then I overreacted to, you know, every little thing, like whatever it is. And so we need to stop being afraid to examine why we react to things. The thing is like I see a a therapist some. I believe that everybody can benefit from a little bit of therapy, and some people need a whole lot of it. Talking about myself. But one of the first things, whenever I mention that I've had some sort of a incident or a meltdown or some of my meltdowns are that I just go "Mm," zip it and I don't say anything. I will back away. I will be quiet. I will run because I know that if I stay, I'm going to say something I regret. But sometimes people see me backing away as insulting too, or that I don't care, and that's not it. That is, I am trying to pick my words and say what I actually feel, and not just the first thing that flies out of my mouth. But anyway, so the first thing that these therapists always ask me whenever I talk about something that I've done or said is, so why did you react that way? What made you feel that way? So that's my first inclination, that we should not be afraid to examine why we do things. We just can't use it as an excuse. We can't just be like, well, you looked at me crossways and it pissed me off, so I told you to go fuck yourself. No, that's not going to make it in today's civilization or any. But we need to be able to examine why we react to things. We really do. The video that I was going to do today actually talked about words that are overused in society and everything today. And I've got a short list of them, but the one that I really want to talk about tonight is triggered. Everybody gets triggered over stuff, quote unquote triggered. We put trigger warnings on a lot of videos. I didn't put one tonight, but it's always just kind of understood that if this is not the video for you, please take care of yourself and come back another time. But we need to understand that language matters. And we've started using the word triggered for everything. But there's a difference between being traumatized and being what I call emotionally activated. I know that, that's not, it doesn't flow off the tongue like triggered, but I think we should start using the word activated more. I really do. And here's why. Triggered is actually a clinical response. It's a clinical word talking about a response to a past specific trauma. Like if you're a soldier and they'll have a dream that makes them literally feel like that they are in that moment. Not that they're upset or they're stressed or they're whatever, that they are actually on the front lines fighting. They will have a physical and mental reaction to it. My ex-son-in-law, he used to have nightmares, and I don't know what they were about. I never got into it with him, but he would literally scream and run like down the hall screaming, and I don't know what it was, and it broke my heart every time. I'm not fond of him at all, but to see this 6'8", 240-pound, very athletic man reduced to a puddle of tears, running and screaming like he's running for his life, was heartbreaking. That's triggered. That is triggered. And yes, it is a very real thing, but we need to understand that when we overuse words, we lessen their impact. We lessen their impact. Hey, Ben. So, anyway, I lost my notes here. So I say activated because I think that that's more common. Um, and according to the according to the professionals that I was reading a bunch of stuff from today, it is very common. And it's when you feel completely overwhelmed, you feel threatened, you feel emotionally flooded. You'll even have the fight, flight, or freeze instincts that people that are triggered have. But it's different. You're not in a specific moment, like whenever, like today, I was triggered over some stuff that I saw. I was triggered. I was pissed. I was crying. I had all this stuff. I felt just attacked. Yeah, I don't know. I I did. I felt all that stuff, but I wasn't triggered. I wasn't taken back to a specific event and reliving that moment of that specific event. I have had that happen before. It is awful. But I feel like I was more activated. And so I really, on this channel anyway, we're going to stop with the triggered because everything's not a trigger. Some things are activated and it's awful. It's probably equally as awful, but in a completely different way. So that's one of the things that I'm going to make that change on here. So if you hear me say activated, that's what I'm talking about. We have to remember that not every intense feeling is triggered, but every intense feeling deserves care. They all matter. And they deserve to be treated with respect and with care. And I'm going to strive for that. Something else that we were talking about today was, what is a safe place, right? Like, I said if we can't, we say that this is a safe place to talk about hard things, but if we can't talk about hard things, then what is a safe place? So I'm going to kind of start with in my mind what a safe place is and isn't. And I'm going to start with the isn't. And I wrote these down too, y'all. So, okay. So a safe place does not mean that we are always going to agree on everything. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that no one is ever going to feel uncomfortable. Now, I should back up, and where I'm saying that we're not always going to agree on something, it does mean that we should always feel safe to disagree. It also means that even if you feel uncomfortable, you should know that that's okay and that we care and that we want you to feel comfortable. It doesn't mean that emotions aren't going to come up, tempers aren't going to flare. It doesn't mean that. All that's going to happen. It's what happens in humanity. We are human, and that's going to happen. But it means that there's going to be no personal attacks on here. I am not going to allow anybody to personally attack anyone because of their beliefs or disbeliefs in God, religion, politics. I don't care what it is. There will be no personal attacks on this channel. And that includes nobody's going to attack me. Because for me to keep you safe, I have to be safe too. There will be no dehumanizing language on this channel. This is another promise that I'm making to you all, the viewers. Nobody's going to fat shame you. Nobody's Hell, we're not even going to kink shame you. If you want to talk about your kinks, within reason, y'all. We're not even going to kink shame you. We're not going to shame you. We are not going to dehumanize you. It's not going to do it. There's not going to be any harassment. It's just not going to happen. No pressure to take sides. In my very mod group, and I'm not going to go into specifics just because I'm not trying to stir up specific dramas. But there are two different people. There's 8 mods in me, I believe, unless I'm counting wrong. And if so, I really am just talking off the top of my head. There are 2 different people that I know of immediately that like or dislike somebody that I like or dislike. Like somebody, I might like somebody they don't like, and they might like somebody I dislike. Whatever. You know what I mean? We don't agree on everybody, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to pressure anybody to like anybody that I like, and I'm not going to pressure anybody to not like anybody that I don't like. But at the same time, I want them to respect that I do like people that I like, or that I don't like people that I don't like. It goes both ways. It's just respect. On this channel, I want everybody to have the space to pause. If you need just a pause, I want you to have that, and know that nobody's going to pounce on you and think that you're stalling or you're stupid and you can't come up with an answer. I have to stop and think a lot. My mind doesn't work like this. Now, when I'm writing, my mind's spinning like that. But whenever I have to like actually say the words, sometimes I have to stop and I have to think. Now, what is this I'm trying to say? Or since the chemo, I lose words. I just absolutely, I told a story a while back. I'm not going to tell the whole damn story, but I literally spent a whole day trying to figure out if my name was really Susie. That's a chemo thing. I'm not looking for sympathy, by the way. I'm just telling you that it does weird shit to your brain. And so it's going to be safe here if you need to pause, and nobody's going to pounce on you. It's not going to be allowed. Dusty, I understand that. I've been unity shamed too. It ain't going to happen here. It is not going to happen. If there's somebody in the chat that you don't get along with, ignore them. You don't have to talk to them, but you're not going to badmouth them either. And the same goes for just groups. We need to be binding together, not figuring out 500 things that can separate us. That's just stupid and immature. That is grade school, junior high at best. So, yeah, we do, Mayor, we call it a brain fart. So, anyway, safety is going to be on this channel about how we treat each other when things get hard, not avoiding things that are hard. We're going to talk about things that are hard. This year, y'all, I mean it. This is the year of the horse, and I always say the horses are probably my spirit animal because I have a lot in common with horses. I mean, I really do. I mean, they're feisty, they're loyal. If it's a mare, we in the horse world we call it the mare stare. If you've ever seen it, a mare, which is a female horse, she will pin those ears back, which just means, the ear's supposed to be like this. All of a sudden, those ears go backwards like this. They turn completely backwards. Now, my ears don't turn completely backwards, but they get red. and they will just stare at you like you were the stupidest thing that has walked this earth. And Mark says that I do that to him sometimes, and I really don't mean to, but I'm serious. Sometimes I do. But horses are smart and dumb. They are loyal and finicky. They can love you and kick the shit out of you in the same breath, especially mares. I am a lot like a horse, and this is the year of the horse. And yes, you are right, Julia. Chemo affects the whole body. So on this channel, we are going to have boundaries, not silence. We are going to set boundaries on how we talk about things, but we are still going to be free to talk about them. Talking about stress or even drama does not mean that this is becoming a fight zone or a drama channel. There's enough of those. Trust me, there's plenty. Setting boundaries also does not mean censoring reality. Sometimes you got to talk stuff out. You got to have a safe place to talk things out. And that's what I want this channel to be. I really thought about it a lot today, and I thought, what do boundaries look like? Like, everybody says I have boundaries. I'm setting boundaries. Well, what do those look like? All right. I wrote those down too. It looks like slowing down conversations a little bit when things start getting heated, or just so that people can catch up and pay attention. It means being able to ask clarifying questions. I have a short story, and I will keep it short on this one. But I thought of it immediately when I was thinking about boundaries and stuff. So, okay, a few months back, a friend of ours on the channel, um, he wasn't here. I didn't see him in the chat, and I was like, I was talking about him. I was bragging about him, and you know, he had done he had so many years sober, all this stuff, and it was just great. And I really wanted to brag on him, and I had the little trophy to show and the whole thing. And I'm like, he's not here, but everybody, you know, put some hearts in the chat for, you know, and well, it was John Lazon, okay, and he popped in a little bit later, and I said, well, there's the handsome devil now. Now, if y'all know me, I'm not flirting with him saying that. That's just Southern. Everybody's a handsome devil or something. And it was just that I was saying, well, damn, I was just talking about you and you just popped in, you know. But he got really upset and he said, don't call me the devil. And he left and he wouldn't speak to me. And I was so upset. I just cried and cried and cried. But we sat down and I was able to explain to him that here saying something like that is not comparing him to the devil. He's very much a Christian man. And I was in no way would never compare him to the devil. That I was just saying, well, look at there he is, you know. I was just talking about him. But see, that's what I mean by being able to ask clarifying questions or having clarifying conversations. Because if that had not happened, if we had not cared enough about each other to sit down and me find out why he was upset and him find out what I meant, we would still be mad at each other today. And that just seems like an awful easy thing to fix if people would just be okay with asking questions or clarifying, what did you mean by that? Without the other person immediately being like, what do you mean? What did I mean by that? You know, because we do that, right? We do that. It also, got a hair on my face. It also on a channel can mean mods stepping in to cool down conversations, to time out people here or there if they need to. Sometimes I feel like they need to time out me, you know, to cool things off a little. I can think of one time, but I won't go into it. But yeah, there's been times. It also means boundaries can mean that it's okay to take a break. Again, if this is not the night for you to watch, you don't have to be here every time. That's why I have a lot of mods, is so that if we're talking about something that they're not comfortable with, or if they're just in a funk that day, or whatever it is, but there's somebody else that can pick up the slack. And it has to be okay with the viewers too, that I don't think bad on you if you're not here every day. I miss you if I start seeing that you're not here a lot, and I start wondering, what did I do? What did I do? What did I say? Cuz I think that's just how we are. But yeah, take those breaks if you need to. Hell, take breaks from social media in general if you need to. I want us to ask ourselves, and feel free to share this if you want to, but you don't have to, in the chat or the comments or whatever. Is there something that you're feeling overloaded with right now? Is there something that is just really weighing on you? And I'm not trying, this is not like a sermon. I swear that sounded so preachy to me. Oh, Lord, it's my Baptist roots are showing. And I swear this is not an altar call, y'all. I just mean it. Internally, think about it. Is there something that's weighing on you today? I know what's weighing on some of you because I've talked to some of you today. Is there something that's bothering you that you haven't even named, that you haven't even really said, this is really bothering me? I want for us to figure out if that is the case, if we are weighed down by something right now, whether we've named it or not. We need to figure out what we need more of. Do you need more rest? Do you need more clarity, space? Do you need more reassurance? Sometimes I desperately need reassurance. Like, I will take the rest that I need, and I can usually get pretty clear about what I'm feeling, and I can step back and take some space. But I'm not proud to admit it. But one thing that I do require is reassurance. Reassurance that I'm enough, or that I'm okay, or that, you know, people like me or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to say unless I'm actually feeling, needy at the moment, what it is that I need. So, and you don't have to share the details, you can. But sometimes just acknowledging, sometimes just acknowledging to yourself and being like, I'm tired, or I just need a break. I need some space. Sometimes acknowledging it to yourself is enough. And I really want y'all to do that. It's something that I'm working on too. Now, this is the last part. It's, you know, not huge. I want to talk about self-care, y'all, but not the pretty pictures, go take a bubble bath, just log off the computer, protect your peace kind of self-care. I swear I think all that just amounts to ignore everything and it'll go away. But the self-care that doesn't push everything aside, but that really helps us stay present and stay, in the moment without being consumed. So I know that for me anyway, avoidance can feel like relief. But when you learn to regulate, and I'm learning, y'all, I'm learning. Trust me, the copays to my therapist tell you how hard I am trying to learn to regulate my emotions because, as my therapist said, that regulation creates resilience. So you didn't even have to pay for that one. I wonder how much I've had to pay for it. Oh. So anyway, I want to talk about a couple of grounding exercises, okay? That actually do help, that things that I actually do use in my life that have really helped me. And I know that they might seem silly, but they've helped. And I've seen them help other people when they're spiraling from one reason or another. So, anyway, so this first one is called the orientation reset. And I know you've probably all seen this or seen variations of it, but I want you to think about it. So, you know, I want you to look around the room wherever you're at. Look around the room. When my therapist tells me this, she talks very low and slow. So, anyway, I want y'all to look around the room and I want you to name 3 things that you can see. Now, you don't have to say it out loud. You can, and you don't have to. I mean, if you're alone, you might not, you might want to do it. But if you're like in a crowd of people or something, or sitting at your desk with the ear pods on at work, you're probably not going to want to, suddenly say, I see the couch and I see a picture of my mama and I see my wig that Sister Bougie wears, but that's 3 things that I can see from where I'm sitting. Now, I want you to list 2 things that you hear. I can hear Poppy over there snoring, and I can hear my dryer going. It ought to be going off anytime, so we might be hearing a buzz in a minute. And then I want you to name 1 thing that you can touch. Doesn't matter what it is. I can touch my can of coffee. I can touch this desk. I could name 100 things within reach of me right now because I tend to have this desk cluttered up. So it's just 3 things that you can see, 2 things that you can hear, and 1 thing that you can touch. Now, from there, I want you to drop your shoulders. Literally lower your shoulders, like loosen them up, okay? Half of us walk around with our shoulders up here like this, and we don't even know we're doing it. We're so used to it. We're so tense that we're used to just having our shoulders up. So it might take a little, rolling them and getting them to release a little bit. But I want you to lower your shoulders. And I want you to unclench your jaw because that's the one that gets me the most. Because y'all, does anybody else's jaw hurt because they have clenched their jaw so tight during tense times? I do it in my sleep. I grind my teeth. My doctors and dentists and everybody's like, okay, we need to fit you with a mouthpiece. We need to do this. We need to do that. And it's just stress. The last thing that I want you to do is that I want you to exhale longer than you inhale. So, like if you inhale for 4 seconds, I want you to inhale and then I want you to just hold it for just a few seconds. I started to say for a minute, but no, don't hold it a minute. Just hold it for, a couple seconds. And then I want you to exhale slowly. If you inhaled for 4 seconds, I want you to exhale for 6 seconds. This is another thing that my therapist makes me do. We do this at the beginning of my session and we do it again at the end. And she makes me do that twice. And then if she thinks that it's not enough, she makes me do it twice more. So when you all are feeling stressed, I want you to do those things. I want you to look around that room and find 3 things that you can see and 2 things that you can hear and 1 thing that you can touch. I want you to lower your shoulders and unclench your jaw and exhale longer than you inhale. It is very grounding. I also did that a lot when I was having chemo. Not the whole thing, the inhale and exhale thing. I did that a lot when I was having chemo because I would get so, well, honest to God, triggered. As soon as I would walk into that room, even if I wasn't having chemo that day, I would hear the pumps and I would smell the chemo. And it was like I was having it right then. It still does that. I still, if I have to go in to give blood or something and I have to go into the room where I had chemo, I get being triggered, y'all. I also understand activated. But doing this simple deal tells your nervous system that you're here right now. You're here. You're not in that scary place. You're not in immediate danger. There is no immediate threat. You're okay. Another thing I want to talk about, and I'm almost done here, is emotional hygiene. This is missing with a lot of us, y'all. We are damn good at consuming stress. We will take in stress. We will take on stress. We will take on every stress that passes our way. We are terrible at clearing it out. And that's what emotional hygiene is. And this next exercise, it's called the mental inbox. And this one, my dear friend and mod Marilee talks about this, or a variation of it, a lot. The woman needs to be a life coach because she's amazing. What you do with this mental inbox is you ask yourself, what am I carrying that isn't mine? What am I reacting to that I can't control? Because, see, a lot of us are empaths and we take on not only all the stresses that affect us, but all the stresses that affect everybody that we care about or the neighbor that we don't even like. We take it all on. And so we have got to stop and we have got to ask ourselves, what am I carrying that isn't mine? What am I reacting to that I have no control over? And I want you again to say out loud, unless you're in a crowd or an elevator or something like that, because people are going to look at you like you're batshit crazy. But I want you to say or to think, I can care without carrying. I can care without carrying. Yeah, John, where have you heard this before? Y'all, caring does not require absorbing every emotional charge around you. It can't. For one thing, you see what it's doing to the person that it does affect. But if you take that on and then you move over to this other person and you take that on and this person over there and you take that on and then you move over here and you take that on, what are you doing to you? They say you can't fill from or you can't pour from an empty cup. Use your own air mask before you put it on somebody else, that whole thing. There's all kinds of things to say, and they're all true. But we have to remember that we can care without carrying. And that's what I'm doing with all the stress that is going on in the anti-Scientology space right now. It's what I'm doing with the Venezuela stuff. It's what I'm doing with that poor woman that got killed in Minnesota. I care. I care deeply about all of it. but I can't let it make me sick. You know, our friend Steve, he's one of my mods. He's so wise. And whenever stuff starts piling up, if he's not in the mindset to handle that day, he will say, I'm going to have to excuse myself for a little bit. I'm going to mute myself. He did it today. And I just loved him for it. I wanted to go and just give him a damn hug because I was like, I am so proud of you that you see it and that you take care of you. We got to take care of us. You got to take care of you, and I got to take care of me so that we can take care of each other. I don't know. Y'all, it is so very hard when the conflict is in your very community, whether that be in your mod chat, in your on your channel, in a community that you're in your town, state, country, whatever your community is. It just does hit different when it's coming from your own community where you normally feel safe, and it's not politics and it's not the news, and it's people that you thought were safe, people that you thought loved you, people that you love. And we have got to understand that it is absolutely fine to acknowledge disappointment, confusion, even grief over fractures in communities or countries. It is okay to grieve a version of a community that you thought you had when you find out that it's not what you thought. Again, that community can be whatever it is. Naming loss is actually self care. See, what we can't do is just always bottle it up and be afraid to share. We have to share. It helps us. It helps us take care of ourselves. You would love and accept your friends naming what's bothering them, talking to you about it. But then a lot of times we'll turn right around and we don't talk to ourselves the same way we talk to our friends. And I really want this channel to be a place where we talk to ourselves like we talk to our friends. We have to be able to name patterns of actions, or, good or bad, without being accusing, without bad mouthing. It is okay to it's okay to know that somebody is prone to lie. It is okay to know whatever it is. We just don't need to be ugly about it. You can there's ways to do it. We've got to work to find those ways. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a professional by far, y'all. I do want to say though, in this community, and if you're not part of the ex Scientology community right now, count yourself lucky. But right now, there does seem to be an awful lot of team picking, and a lot of the cool kids versus the non cool kids. And I'll tell you, I've been there and back. Nobody knew who the hell I was. I've been part of the cool kid gang. Didn't realize it at the time. Maybe now I'm back to just being whatever. I'm just me. I've found my tribe. That's all y'all, and I think that you're all cool kids. We're our own damn cool kids, y'all. Like how the jocks, they thought they're cool, but the band kids, they knew they were cool, right? Band kids knew they were cool. The nerds, remember those nerds in high school? That's the guys that all the girls love now. So, all this cool kids, not cool kids, none of it means shit. I really I there seems to be a big divide right now between, like, big channels and small channels, and that's y'all, that is not accountability, that's hierarchy, and we're not gonna have that here. If you have a channel and it's big, you're welcome here. If you have a channel and you got 200 subs, you're welcome here. You have exactly the same value to me because I value the person, not the numbers. I don't care. I let myself get into that, like, I've gotta have this many subs, I've gotta have this many views, and sometimes I play that game in my mind, like, we'll do a really important show and, like, we'll have maybe 100 views, and I'm thinking, "If I went on there and badmouthed Reese or Nora or somebody, I'd get 3,000 views easy." But I sleep better at night when I don't. So, what I'm doing instead is I'm realizing that I don't have to like everyone, and everybody doesn't have to like me. I don't have to support toxic behavior, and I get to choose how I treat people, but I also get to choose how they treat me. And this is what I want all of us to do. I want us to stop valuing or devaluing people because of things like subscriber counts or assuming that because they're connected to this person or that person that they must be, doing everything right or that, they're doing anything right, basically. I want us to all like stop dogpiling on people. And what I mean by that is that, I've said before that Aaron a lot of times is an easy target because, everybody says, it's Aaron's fault. It's Aaron's fault. It's Aaron's fault. We joke about it. But people dogpile on him. Anything that goes wrong is Aaron's fault. But if you turn that around, God, I'm going to mention her name again. People like Nora, who right now is acting like an evil bitch from hell. It would be easy to dogpile on her. She's an easy target right now. But I don't want to do that. And I know I say that as I'm saying that, you know, as I'm kind of doing that. But I mean it like I'm not going to have shows, lives where I just like go, can you imagine? Can you believe what she said yesterday? Can you believe? No. On the other side of that is I'm not going to run from it. I'm not going to say I'm not ever going to talk about this person or this thing or that thing. Because if I feel like talking about it, I will. Because I have sworn to you all that I'm going to be authentic, and that's me. I talk about stuff. I really do. I want to stop treating disagreement like betrayal. There's some definite betrayal that has gone on in this space, not this channel, but this space. But we need to learn that we can disagree without betraying people. And another thing, y'all, Soapbox, Soapbox Susie. That's a name, isn't it? Soapbox Susie. We need to remember that the small channels, we're not less valuable than those big channels. Many of us small channels work our asses off. We work twice as hard without the support and without the recognition. And a lot of us who are never ends, we we work without the benefit of being able to fall back on our own stories. So we have to go find the stories to talk about. But then we get it shoved in our faces sometimes that we've never been in the cult. I'm glad I've never been in the cult. But that doesn't mean I've never been hurt. That doesn't mean I've never been abused. And it doesn't mean that I don't care about the ones that have been in the cults or in abuse or, have been abused. And I'm tired of it. So, yeah, I'm kind of redefining what safe means in this space, or as in this channel. But it's not going to mean the elite. It means everybody's safe, including me. It doesn't mean that we insulate ourselves from reality. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about hard stuff. And sometimes I'm going to get spicy. And I'm going to tell you what I'm pissed off about. What are you? Okay, he's back with that. It's my cat down there, and he's playing with his little spring again. But anyway, sometimes I'm going to talk about stuff that's not fun. But I don't want to turn our stress into social warfare. There's enough of that. There's enough of that. So, what we're going to do on this channel is we are not going to amplify the attacks on people, even the ones that deserve it. Because sometimes they do. We're not going to go there. We are not going to demand loyalty tests. We are not going to say, well, you're not friends with my friend, so you're dead to me. I'm not going to say that. We're not even going to mean it. It's not going to be a hidden thing either. It's just, that's not going to roll here. We are going to support each other. We're going to support channels, regardless of what space they're in, that are doing good work, that have good content. I want to bring a bunch of different people on here. I want y'all to tell me who you want to see in different communities, not just the Scientology world, anywhere. We are going to refuse to participate in humiliation tactics. I've seen a lot of that lately. Too much of it. And I've seen it from people that I like. I've seen them purposely humiliate other people, bring up private matters, marriages. We're not going to do that. It's not going to fly here. We're going to step away from all those pile-ons, even when we agree with it. Not the piling on, but maybe they deserve a little bit. We're going to opt out of cruelty without opting out of conviction. This channel, this space is if it's going to survive and be a place worth being, we have to choose to regulate ourselves and our reactions. We can be curious without creating camps. We can care about people without creating cliques. It's not weakness, that's maturity. And y'all, the last thing I want to say before I check in with y'all again, I've got some starred comments I want to check. To my mods, and if you are a mod on another channel somewhere, I mean this for you too. Thank you. My bulldog just laid her big face in my lap. She needs loves from mama. But anyway, if you are a mod here or somewhere else, I just really do want to say thank you. This is an emotional labor job that you don't even get paid for. But your work matters. No, you can't get in my lap. You weigh 100 pounds. You matter. And yes, Poppy matters. I promise I'll go love her after this is over. But I just want you all to know that you all do matter to me. That I never take for granted that you're here. I never do. I see people in chats on other channels that used to come here and they don't anymore, and I miss them. And I would love to know why. I would love for them to come back and give us another shot, because maybe whatever caused them to go away might not be happening anymore. So, oh, Marilee put the thank you. She put Heat My Shorts' link in there. We definitely need to list that in the comments afterwards too. Yeah. Julia says sometimes everything does feel too much. Yeah. It can be so hurtful. That is absolutely true. And let's see here. Indigo says, what I have learned is that healing happens in different rates for different people, even if they are in the same situation. Yeah. It gets even more intense when you add in the internet. Absolutely. And viewers. Absolutely. And that's another person. Indigo now has a channel, and I am subscribed, and I'm like, now Indigo better have me on or I'm going to cry. Actually, what I thought was I better be on this channel or I'm going to pitch me a hissy fit. That's what I honestly thought. Oops, wrong button. Okay. Let's see here. Julia says healing is so important and setting boundaries is okay too. Absolutely. We have to set boundaries. It's absolutely okay. Oops, Mark just walked in. Never ever sweep stress under the rug. It will jump out and trip you up when you don't expect it. Words of wisdom from Marilee. If y'all don't know her, you are missing out. I don't know how I make it through the day sometimes without her words of wisdom. She is. What? Mark's being a smart ass. He said, what if you don't have a rug? Like if we don't have a rug to sweep it under? No, that's not supposed to be outside. And you can probably blame the little girl that's looking straight up at you. I call her a puppy still, Mags. She's about a year old now, though. She took out one of my little stuffed animals, a little hedgehog, and Mark said, "Is this supposed to be outside?" I'm like, "No," but she's over there trying to take it away from him. Julia says, "My stress gets accumulative and it can be hurtful. True friends don't hurt each other; they don't backstab each other." That is true. Now, I will say that sometimes friends can hurt each other, but without meaning to. We just, it happens and it's awful. But the backstabbing has got to stop. Live to Laugh. That's a cool name. I like that. I've done it too. It helps to step back from computers and phones for a bit and regroup. Absolutely. Absolutely. Indigo says, take your time with processing any situation. At the end of the day, my trauma isn't the responsibility of others to avoid. It's mine to manage, figure out how to heal, and to move forward. That's true. That is true. Ben says, humans are the only animals for remembering something stressful causes the same response in the body as going through it. That's true. It really is. Being so wise when he's not being a smartass. Give him time though. Before it's over, he'll be a smartass. I think we should totally pay attention to the actual meaning of words. Listen to hear, not to respond. Absolutely, Christy. Absolutely. So much of the time, if we really would just listen to hear and not already be coming up with a response, it would be so much better. Marilee says you can respectfully agree to disagree. Absolutely. I'm always afraid when I see Ben's name because you just never know. You never know what you're going to get. He is the kindest, sweetest, smartest man. Or he's, what did you call yourself? What was it? It was a trod. He's a trod. He's a troll and a mod at the same time. Oops, that was not what I was trying to do. Using the label drama is often the way someone, people use to avoid having their behavior questioned. Yeah, like exactly. Like, oh, it's, they're just drama. They're all about drama. No, we are actually taking offense with something that has happened, right? It is okay to talk about stuff. It is okay, even drama. Christy says it's so important to learn how to protect your energy. It is so important. You control your energy, sorry, and messages. They don't control you. Absolutely. Now y'all know why I love her so much. She's like, one of my bestest. Rocking it out for life. I recently learned that it's okay to feel anger. I can feel anger and not do anything about it except have the feeling and let it go. Who knew I didn't have to act on it? I didn't. You're right, though. It is okay. It is okay to be angry sometimes. We just can't, like punch anybody in the throat just because we're angry. Although, Christy said we shouldn't minimize what we have been through or others. It's all real and it's all important. Beautiful souls matter. Yes, absolutely. And there are a lot of beautiful souls here. I love you all for being here and listening to me just, I don't know. I have rattled on and I hope that it was not like a total disaster. This is one of those that I may listen back to and be like, Lord, just delete that one from the, from the, whatever it is, the channel. Because, anyway, I love you guys. I truly do. And I'm going to go. Mark has made it in with that barbecue, I'm assuming. And yeah, Ben is wise. He is wise. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. If you have not yet, please do subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And the subscriber count, I don't get paid for subscribers, but what it does is when you have more subscribers, it puts you into they push your videos out to other people. So sometimes I really do important videos and I would like for those to get seen by more people. So if you would please hit the like and subscribe, hit the notifications, because I tend to go on at very strange times. Most of the time it is going to be 6:30 Central, but you never know. Like me and Christy are trying to plan one now, and it's going to be in the daytime, like early. So you just never know. So hit that notification. Oh, thank you, Marilee. Thank you. I hope so. I don't know. But I really wanted to, Christy talks about setting intentions, and I'm really paying attention to that a lot, and I am setting intentions. And so pretty much what I talked about tonight is the intentions that I have set for this channel. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that I stick to them. So anyway, I'm going to have dinner with my husband, or at the same time as my husband anyway. I never have dinner with him, it don't seem like. But anyway. Aw, thank you, Julia. The stream is so loving. Aw. Yeah, engagement helps algorithms. Comment in the chat afterwards, or come and ask questions, or just comment, or tell us if you have a channel in the comment section on the replay, because we want to go sub to you too. We're all going to support each other. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you guys, and I will see you maybe tomorrow.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee, and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.